Whips and chains weren't enough to keep black people beneath white supremacy. The lash could break the body, but to conquer the mind, to justify the system to the intellectuals, they needed something more powerful. Out of the racist ether of Europe, the colonizers forged something new: race science. And the people who created this pseudoscience weren't back-alley theorists. They were some of the most celebrated men of their time, giants in medicine and natural history. Their names still echo in textbooks today. White supremacist groups across America and the globe echo their ideas. 4 men are carved upon the Mount Rushmore of race science: Carolus Linnaeus, Johann Friedrich Blumenbach, Samuel Cartwright, and Benjamin Rush. Carolus Linnaeus is recognized as the so-called father of modern biology. In his book, Systema Naturae, which he wrote in 1735, he classified humans into 4 races. Europeans he described as gentle and inventive. Africans he called lazy, negligent, and cunning. This wasn't just description, it was hierarchy. Without a shred of evidence, Linnaeus built racism into the foundation of natural science, presenting inequality as if it were nature's order. Then came Johann Friedrich Blumenbach. He expanded Linnaeus's scheme to 5 races, and he gave the world a new word: Caucasian. Blumenbach was a craniologist. He studied skulls. One skull from the Caucasus region of Europe struck him as the most beautiful, the purest example of humanity. From that, he speculated mankind must have originated there. Again, no evidence. None. Blumenbach simply tied whiteness to beauty, virtue, and superiority. And with his pen, the Caucasian race was given birth. Personal prejudice recast as science. And if you've ever wondered why slaves ran away, you need only ask Samuel Cartwright. His answer might surprise you. According to Cartwright, slaves ran away due to a mental illness he called drapetomania. This disease made enslaved Africans want to run away. But he wasn't done there. He created a name to another so-called disease, dysesthesia ethiopica. This disease explains why, in his mind, black people were lazy and destructive. Cartwright created these so-called diseases without a shred of evidence. To Cartwright, the human desire for freedom wasn't resistance, it was sickness. His science declared bondage healthy and liberty a medical disorder. His scientific diagnosis transformed the human instinct for freedom into madness. Finally, Benjamin Rush, a founding father, signer of the Declaration of Independence, one of George Washington's personal physicians, and today often called the father of American psychiatry. For his time, he was hailed as brilliant. And yet, when asked why Africans had black skin, Rush had an answer steeped in ignorance. It was caused by a form of leprosy. He came to this conclusion by examining and publicizing Henry Moss, a black man whose skin was inundated with skin splotches we now call vitiligo, but at that time was undiagnosed. Dr. Rush examined Moss and concluded that the young man suffered from leprosy and that the light skin splotches was undeniable proof that he was healing and turning white. To Rush, dark skin wasn't natural. It was a disease, a defect, a pathology, and because of who he was, people believed him. With a stroke of his pen, Rush cast blackness not as humanity, but as error. That gave cover for doctors and scientists to prod, dissect, and experiment on black bodies, not as patients, but as objects. These men were not fringe figures. They stood at the center of Western science. Linnaeus gave categories. Blumenbach gave a hierarchy. Cartwright gave slavery its medical defense. Rush gave blackness a false pathology. Together, these four built the great lie of race science, a lie so powerful it justified slavery, segregation, medical abuse, and systemic inequality for centuries. They wrapped racism in the cloak of inevitability, stamped with the seal of science, all without a shred of evidence. We remember these names not to honor them, but to expose them. Whips and chains scarred the flesh. Race science scarred the imagination of the world. So when you hear about Hitler's racial purity, or the Klans, we stand for white supremacy, or the mega faithful boasting of their genetic superiority. Remember, their ideas didn't rise from nothing. These ideas grew from the poison planted by these so-called pioneers, carved into the Mount Rushmore of racial science and bigotry. To learn more, read Dixieland, Tales, Stories, and Anecdotes of Unfiltered Black American History, available now on Amazon.